Hi, this is way more people than I thought was going to be here this morning. So, real quick, me up here. Metacortex, you'll see me on the internet as, or Danny, either or, don't care. By day, threat consultant, or threat analyst, and by night, consultant, pen tester, all that stuff. I came up in the Salt Lake hacker scene, doing DC 801 and the hackerspace out there, 801 Labs. I am a stage whore. So anywhere somebody wants to let me stand on stage and talk to people, I will do that. So there's lots of the places that I've been lately. So real quick, rules of engagement for today. Be informal. Don't be afraid to yell out. Right there. Thank you. Heckle. I will acknowledge you, but don't expect a witty comeback. It is a little early in the morning. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Finding all the stupid shit people put on GitHub and harvesting as much of that as humanly possible. So I generally like to start out with a nice little story. It's about a girl I dated in high school. And it's actually that one, not that one, in case you were wondering. And we don't talk too much these days. So randomly, this is not an actual screenshot, but she decides to text me out of the blue and says, "Hey, how's it going?" And I actually did not have her number in my phone anymore. So what was the first thing I do? Throw it into Google. See what Google has on this phone number. First page, there's not a lot of interesting results. A lot of aggregated data on phone records. And I get to the second page and was about ready to give up when I see very down there at the bottom was something interesting that I wanted to check out. So we'll blow it up for you guys in the back. And there's all her personal information. Name, phone number, mailing address, neighborhood that she lived in. I said, oh, well, good thing I know who this number is now. Let's check out this file. Oh, JSON dump. Okay. Everything's all in a single line. Let's expand it out to the blob version, and holy shit. That's a lot of data. So again, let's blow it up for those in the back. And if you can't pick out some of this pertinent information, I'll do it for you. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Phone numbers, names, emails, actual details of people's apartments, like room numbers, size of rooms. So I did some hardcore data analytics on this and found 1,800 people in there. That's awesome. So at this point, or I was not going to text back my ex-girlfriend. I figured I probably should, just to let her know that all her shit's out there. And she texted back and said, "Oh, thanks for letting me know. That's good to know." And what happened was that was a JSON file people were using to coordinate rooms for runners of the Boston Marathon after the bombs went off. Pretty noble cause, sure, but how long ago was that now? It's still up there. And I can tell you at least one person's information is absolutely correct in it. So that's my initial intro to all of the stupid shit people put on GitHub. And then a couple months ago, I saw this tweet come by because I was bored trolling around Twitter. And Mark Burnett, he does a lot of password stuff. He wrote the Ingress Password book from Salt Lake City as well. So I saw this tweet and said, really? 180 million passwords of WordPress configs? Seriously, you can't be right. And sure as shit, there's a whole bunch of them. I think that one came back, 197 million returned results. So I started, checking it out and sure enough, there is an example right there. And for the back seat, some decent credentials there. So I started digging into GitHub and trying to figure out what more is out here, because there's obviously more shit. So I learned everything is a logical and in the search field. They strip away all special characters like they probably should be, and they do a lot of keywords like Google dorking. So you can string a bunch of the keywords together to find the interesting stuff you're looking for. So in this example, we could use file name, passwd, path Etsy to find people's Etsy password files. Fun. So I started digging around trying to think of a whole bunch of cool shit that you could find. And there's a list of the most interesting. Tons of private keys everywhere. Password shadow files, SFTP configs, which are a lot of fun, just because, when they have publicly accessible IPs, those are generally the real credentials to get in. SQL dumps, Gmail SMTP configs, which are awesome, because you can log into people's Gmail accounts potentially. And AWS creds, which still to this day, I'm trying to find creds to a GPU instance in AWS, because free cracking would be amazing. So let's check out some of these here. So here's some, private keys, which are kind of interesting. There are 4.6 million of them returned in that result. Like I said earlier, Etsy password files, 1,100-ish. Kind of fun. Shadow files, a lot less than the Etsy passwords. The SFTP configs. As you can see, there's nothing public in that screenshot, but root, CentOS. Good stuff. So after digging around for a little bit, I decided, hey, somebody should probably write something to grab all of that, because that would be fun, right? And that night I kind of did. And that's pretty much exactly how it went. So by the morning, I had a very basic working version of my tool, Git Harvester, which ironically, I am hosting on GitHub, because why not? So what does it do, really? Well, default, I'm making it stupid easy. You don't have to give it any config flags or any of that. You can if you want. But by default, you just run the Python script, and it dumps a whole bunch of WordPress config files, parses them out. Well, it grabs the config files, parses them out, and then dumps username, password, database, host, and I think something else. I can't remember. But dumps those all to the screen. Really easy for you. And you can start logging into people's stuff if you want. Not condoning that. And then later I started writing additional features into it, where you can do custom GitHub searches, custom regex on all of the results. So if you wanted to get more interesting results, you can totally do that. Write all the files to disk, dump them to screen, all that. So now is the fabled demo time. Let's do this. No, you cannot see that. All right. Yay! All right. So it's just Python script. Like I said, you just go ahead and just run that. And hey, there's live creds. Fantastic. And it's just going to keep dumping as many as it finds. So generally, when I like to give this talk, this is the moment where I ask for audience participation. Does anyone want to try these? and verify that they're working? No? Okay. Here's a fun story. So I was doing this in front of InfraGard in Salt Lake because, why not? And everybody was like shocked. And by the time I was done, the local agent walks up to me and he goes, "So I really like when you present here for us because you bring a little edge to it we don't normally get." So I found that pretty flattering. All right, so let's find some other stuff. So this command, which I will run it real quick. So what it's doing is it's using the TACS flag, looking for file name ID RSA, and actually doing regex on begin RSA private key. So because I'm doing regex right now, it's just going to dump the first matched regex to the screen. So there's a key, there's a key, there's a key. I feel like Oprah up here sometimes. You get a private key. All right, so then to show you that I am not totally full of shit, let's dump a bunch of these to a file real quick for fantastic harvesting of all of them. I'll let a couple of them work. And we'll see RSA was created. There's a whole bunch of them. There we go. Full straight up keys. Let's show you some other stuff. No. All right. So look for shadow files, dump a whole bunch of hashes to the screen. So whole bunch of root hashes. Pretty fun. Diego. Awesome. So that's a thing. And then I tried this earlier. I don't know if it's working or not. Look for some of the SFTP configs. Oh yeah, so I'm just dumping passwords in this one. But if you wanted the full files, we could do that as well. So pretty awesome, a lot of passwords, as you would expect. Oh, there you go. Admin at change.ju 2013. Fantastic. Doesn't look like that got changed. All right. Yay, it didn't completely fall on its face. So, about the tail end of March, I decided to pull, as much data as I could and try and figure out how we would get a little snapshot of everything I was able to find out there. And those are all my numbers. Everything in parentheses were all unique. So, what is it? 61 database credentials for public hosts. So all of those were, freely accessible to log into. And, if you were looking to spread malware, that's a good list of sites to add illicit iframes to. I'm not condoning anything. But, 1,400 public SFTP hosts. Again, building a botnet, there you go. Great way to do that. And then the best ratio that I found was the Gmail creds as far as unique credentials go. And I because, again, you're not going to find too much variance on that. But the Gmail creds are actually kind of interesting because Gmail does a great job about handling your passwords. So if you try and log in from your Gmail account from an IP address you have not logged into it yet from, it'll give you a little note. Be like, hey, this is a new IP. We're not going to let you in until you confirm that blah, blah, blah. But you will not even get to that screen unless those creds are valid. So this is a good way to test for creds without actually committing any crimes. Yay! So we'll do some analysis on all of the good stuff that I was able to find within all those results. So a lot of blank WordPress passwords, of course, root, password, WordPress, all that. But there were some real fun ones, actually. And so Krieger is my spirit animal. So I had to involve the picture. And no. Fuzzy Nop is not here. He informed me last time I saw him that last password on the bottom is not I love pain. It's some weird sexual fetish thing on the internet. So I was hoping he was going to be here to shine light on that again. So for the SFTP passwords, actually, they were the most complex out of the bunch, which is fantastic. If you're, creds logging directly into a server, but if you put them all out onto the internet, clear text, it doesn't matter how fucking long they are. There's a bunch of fun ones in this one. My favorite absolutely is Pizza Yoloswag, which I actually had to change my password after I saw that. I like turtles. Goodbye World. I hope that server's still up because that would be sad. A couple of dirty words. Some of the fun Gmail passwords that people want to choose. derplife@1. That was a good one. Underscore written out 1, 2, 3. And then actually Dr. Asar Ahmad, I'm butchering that, but that actually doesn't go to a Dr. Asar, which was really interesting. I don't know, it was just some random Gmail account that, I did a little bit of recon on and not a doctor. Shadow file announced, all of the major passwords. So with the shadow files, I actually took all of the hashes and threw them into an AWS GPU instance with Hashcat and just went nuts. I was able in about 12 hours to crack about 60% of them with a word list that was about 1.5 billion unique passwords that I've been harvesting from, public sources. Those are standard, but some of the fun ones, so only for you to see, not so much. And the one that I had to highlight was God, because I was actually writing these slides fairly late in the night, going, God wouldn't be up this late. Sorry. So I decided to compile everything and throw them into a paste bin. Every single password that I came across when I was running this at the end of March. So if you want them, there you go. Actual legitimate creds used in the wild. They don't come with usernames, they're just passwords. But yeah, nothing's better for cracking than actually using legit passwords. So there's a couple concerns that I actually ran into while writing this script. So there is an option to use GitHub's API, but it's kind of useless because it returns the exact same amount of results that the website does. And it's only 1,000 results. 10 results per 100 pages. And there is some kind of KB article somewhere that I found where they said, we're only going to return 1,000 results, because if they're returning a couple million results per hit, it's going to destroy their servers, which makes sense. So I started, trying to find ways to massage more results out of it, and I found the order by options on the website. Order by their own best match, recently indexed, and last recently indexed. So of course I wrote a little flag that's, you can specify any one of those or all three at the same time, and potentially get 3,000 results. And in practice, I generally get about 1,500 unique that aren't overlapping. But hey, it's way more than 1,000. Not too bad. Another concern is if you hit their server fast enough, you will get this little dialog box. It says, hey, knock it the fuck off, go away, but come back because we love you. The fun thing about this is if you're running my tool and doing regex on all of the results, it is just slow enough to avoid that. Not by design. Totally coincidental, but I'll take it. And as kind of a quick shout out to this guy who keeps a list of GitHub dorks. I've never met him. He's somewhere on another continent. But there were a couple things that he had in there that I wasn't aware of, kind of like the Gmail creds. Most of them I had already found out, but there's some good stuff in there. So definitely check out that repo. And then, new features since I've written this slide deck. Generally, when I get to my question and answer section, people always say, hey, what if I wanted to search specific repositories where I knew all my developers were using GitHub and here's all their usernames? I said, oh, that would be actually really useful and not just write a dick tool on the internet. So I did that the other day. And I actually just pushed it up to GitHub a couple minutes before starting. So let's see. All right, we are in. Let me blow all that away. And then I will exit out of that. So let's say we wanted to. Oh, no, I don't want to use that. No, not that one. Good plug, but not me. All right. So let's see which one, just because we have that. If we wanted to look for, Etsy password files, let's say, and this guy, sure. Andrew, we will call him from Moscow. So let's say he's one of a developer that may potentially work for me, and I want to make sure that he's not being retarded on GitHub. Actually, let me go ahead and grab this. So if we wanted to search for Etsy password files, so we'll run that, and then tack A for account. Grab his account name up there. Nope. Nope. That one. KPeem. We run that. It says only one page of results. And obviously it doesn't work. Where am I? Berg Bridge dump, I think that's what it was. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. So we should be getting results. Yay, new features. Let me try. I wonder if this is. Let me make sure that is the actual right string. All right, so my tool is broken. Fantastic. Congratulations. All right, time to troubleshoot that tonight and roll this back. All right, so that's coming soon. The functionality is mostly there. But, fuck it. So, there is... Where am I? Yeah, so A for account, when it works, and P for project. So if you know specific projects they're working on, you can also dial it down into that, which could be very useful. All right, so I got questions. You guys have been a lively bunch today, so I imagine there's going to be thousands. No? All right. Fair enough. So there's all my contact information. So if you want to reach me, I'm on Twitter. It'll ping my phone whenever you hit me. So hit me however long you want for extended periods. Early in the morning, drive my girlfriend nuts. Or if you want to talk consulting stuff, there's all my details. So other than that, thank you very much. And I don't think we actually have a speaker next because they never checked into con. Ever. So that's all for me. Thank you very much.